Welcome to another Elder Scrolls Online video. This one's been prompted because when I've been streaming this on Twitch, I've had quite a few newcomers coming in asking me about the game, asking me about bag space and so on. And you know, it's something I kind of took for granted that we would all just understand the struggle and we would plod on, but there's quite a few things that I didn't realise people weren't aware of. So I figured I'll share that info and hopefully it helps people out. So as you can see, I've got quite a few characters. Now, one of the ways you can manage bag space, it's not terribly effective. It's a bit better on new consoles like PS5, the Xbox Series S and X, I would imagine as well, because of load times. But one way you can do it is you can, and I'll be showing you the bank a little bit later on in this video, but you can bank from one character and then withdraw to another that maybe you don't use that much, like maybe you're choosing to level another character and kind of prioritize that. So you can do that. It is messy, and then you're logging out and logging back in on various characters and you don't know who's got what and stuff like that, but that is one way you can do it. What I will say is Elder Scrolls Online Plus, if you can afford it, then ultimately I would urge you to get that. Having the access to the craft bag, so any materials used in crafting just all go in there in their own little separate space, that helps tremendously. I normally go for longer subscriptions purely because if you break down how much it works out to be per month, it's a lot cheaper going for 6 or 12 months. You're saving a little bit extra every month. On the subject of using any form of real money for this, what I would urge you to do as well is, I'll be putting it in my links below as usual, but Electronic First. I use them for any PSN wallet top-up, so I'm getting, say, like £35. I think the last time I bought one, it worked out to be about 29, so I was saving like £6, and then that obviously could go towards something else. But, you know, there's smarter ways of topping up your wallet and getting more value for money, especially now, because everything is costing so much in the real world. You don't really want that to take anything you know, away from your escapism by burying yourself into this to distract you from the outside world. But yeah, so let's go straight into the video. So I forgot to record audio over this part because I remembered after I did the pack merchant segment where my character was already maxed out that my American character hasn't had anything because I've not really done anything with him. So as you can see here, the pack starts off 10 slots 2,000, not too bad, but you'll see that it soon racks up until we hit the value of 200.
All my bags are genius. All my bags are genius. All my bags are All my bags are All my bags are All my bags are genuine.
And there we go. So we've bought as many as we possibly can from the pack merchant. So I've already done the mount upgrade for today, as you'll see in a second. I'm re-recording because there was a bit of an issue with the original. But every 20 hours you can purchase a new riding skill. So here they all go up to 60. So basically 180 days if you log in every day and do this. Now you can purchase riding lessons using crowns. You can win them in crates, or sometimes you can get them as daily rewards as well. What I would recommend, if you're not able to put a few hours into the game every day, at least log in every day, get your daily reward, do your mount upgrade, and then obviously crack on with whatever you've got to do in the real world. This just helps you keep on top of this, because it only takes a few minutes, really, and it's certainly worth it. So if you can spare the time to do it every day, then by all means go for it. Now I showed you the pack merchant You can, as I mentioned, buy the bag space upgrades using crowns. It's 1,000 to go, so that's 8,000 crowns to max out. If you just do it that way, I would recommend you try to avoid that. You will get to a point where you'll earn so much gold. Again, the fact that daily rewards gives you quite a good chunk of golds every now and again. Like there was a time when we didn't get daily rewards, so we had to just make do with what we had. I sound like a real boomer now, but yeah, I wouldn't spend crowns on that if you can help it. Now I'm going to be talking about the bank in a moment as well, but I'll just show you while I'm on this screen. Again, you can do bank space upgrades to a maximum of 18, but again, I would avoid doing that because you can buy them with gold. You'll see a note there as well which says ESO Plus membership doubles your bank space as well, which again is another brilliant perk of having the subscription. So also on this screen, these I would recommend you buy. You don't have to have these equipped, and these work across all characters as well. Because what you'll notice here is the bag space applies to the character that you've applied them to. So that means that if you did that and then you have another character, you're going to have to do it again. Or, you know, you're going to be back to square one. The bank is across all, so that's fine. But these two are also. So the boar and the pack rat, they give you 5 slots each. So that gives you 10 slots across the pair of them for 2,400 crowns. Does seem pricey, but you can't get these any other way in the game, and because they're account wide, they're certainly worth it. Okay, so I don't believe I've done the bank upgrades on this character, so we're gonna head to the bank and I'll show you what we're looking at here.
Welcome to the Hlaalu
Now,
Treasury.
you're going to see a couple of things. So, bank is your own individual bank. In here, yeah, so as you can see, I can buy bank space starting at 1,000. And of course, just like the pack merchant, they're going to go up exponentially and get quite pricey. So if we do that, it's gone up to 3,300, 6,800, 11,400, 20,500... 28,300, 32,700, 37,500, and so on and so forth. As a Scotsman, this breaks my heart. So I've ran out of currency now, but as you can see, I've managed to bolster all the way up to 440. Now, because my US character, well, my NA server character, isn't in a guild, I can't show you that on him. So I'll show you again. So obviously we've got the bank here. This one is maxed out on this character, as you can see, 480 slots we have. Now, in the guild bank, I'm in several guilds. Now, one thing you can do is you can set up your own guild and then get 10 close friends, people that you can trust, so you know that they're not going to steal your items and whatnot. And then you've got 500 spaces. Now, obviously, this bank, this guild that I've got, I haven't recruited any members because I set it up as like a placeholder. So 500 items can go in there, but as you can see, you need 10 members to deposit in it. Obviously, the guild bank is handy if you have items that you've maybe got duplicates of and you want to share them out with the community that you're in. You can, of course, trade character to character as well, so that's another way, so like player to player, so not swapping like I mentioned at the start, but you know, you can open up a trade window with another player and then give them something, and then they can maybe give you gold or something in return, whatever. So that's another way of managing your bag space. But the guild, it's handy to just dump stuff that you don't need, you've got duplicates of or whatnot, or it's maybe lower level items and it's stuff that's no value to you, and of course it'll help maybe some new members to the guild that are lower level, or maybe starting a new character. Now, another good way to kind of help manage your bag space, and this also helps your bank. So if you have any weapons or gear that are in your bag or at your bank, you can deconstruct. So as you can see here, I've got some intricate items. Now, I'm not going to use it on this character because her blacksmithing is already maxed out. But you'll notice in the box to the right at the top, there's the one and the treasure chest indicating that it's in the bank. And then you've got on this one a little bag next to the one indicating that it's on my character. So this is another handy way. You're also able to then level your crafting skills if you're looking to do that. I normally do crafting across all of my characters just to save logging in and logging out on each one. But that's a good way to just kind of free up. And another one as well is research. So again, any items that you need, as you'll see here, obviously I've hit my maximum research at the moment for the number I can do at one time. But that'll then free up another item slot. So it's not a massive thing, but if you've been doing a delve or a dungeon and you've picked up loads of gear, it's a nice quick way of clearing it out. And just while we're here, I have a merchant. Now, I bought the merchant and the banker so I could summon them wherever I am. Now, you're going to see, so these are ornate items. So these are things you're going to pick up a lot of throughout the game as well. There's no value really deconstructing them unless you're desperate for materials, but you're not really going to get much in that way of things from them. So you'd as well sell in these for the extra boost of gold that they get, just to try to build that up. As you can see, I've already sold these because it's given me the option to buy back. But again, access the banker. It's handy just to have, because again, if I've deconstructed a load of things, I can then chuck more in the bank. And again, that's stuff that's available across all characters. So if I bank something that is going to be a better boost for one of my other characters, then away we go. Now, you can see there's no guild bank option here, so you do have to make a visit to a proper bank in the game to have access to that, but that's not really too much of a big deal. Now, in the last update, they also dropped the rag picker. So this allows you to deconstruct on the fly. So again, I'm not going to do any of this because my character gets no benefit, but as you can see here, this gives me everything that's in my bank, everything that's being carried by this character, and it's just another handy summon. It's a bit divisive. Some people think she's worth it, some people don't. I just had crowns burning a hole in my pocket, as you can see, and so I picked her up. Lastly, we have housing. Now, housing, it doesn't have to be a grand house. It doesn't have to be... Obviously, you are limited in the space that you get for coffers such as these. So the chests and coffers, these are all bought using crowns. I've purchased the maximum amount of these that I can. What I am trying to do here is have them organized. So these coffer ones, they hold 30. The chests hold 60 each. Now I'm trying to store things that I don't need access to all that regular. So you can see I've got a lot of my survey maps and so on from doing my crafting dailies and whatnot. Treasure maps as well. I also use them to store gear for different builds, some for maybe looking at doing PvP, like respecing to do that potentially. Like all of my characters, I pretty much solo PvE. I might do the odd battleground or something like that, just when there's an event on that you get chests and whatnot for that. But I don't really bother with the PvP stuff. But yeah, so these, like I said, they're purchased with crowns. I'm pretty sure they're in furniture as opposed to upgrades. Yeah, here we go. So as you can see, there they are. So the coffers are 1,000, the chests are 2,000. I would say they're well worth the money. The one thing to be aware of is whatever's stored in these you do not have access to without physically coming to them. Obviously, if you do have various other homes in the game, provided you've got enough space for this many, you can place like a copy of them down. So for example, this one, it'll have like a virtual slot. So if I plonk that one down in another house, whatever its contents are will be available to me there. Obviously the downside is there's no way of knowing. So ideally you want a place where you've got plenty room for enough of these. Like the little ones in the inn, I think you can only maybe store 1 or 2. I can't really remember. Now, I do have random things just chucked down, so again, as you play, you'll come across items that you just pick up, and, you know, they're maybe not valuable, but you might want to just hang on to them. So a good thing about housing is you can just dump them wherever, and they're not taking up any space, and then if you want to do something with them, you can. If not, then it's not really any biggie. As you can see, I don't really put much focus into housing, but I have got some random bits and pieces, and of course I've got my statues from my ESO Plus that you get every month that you can get for free from the store. And then I've got like my Undaunted trophies and all of that, and some other things that you pick up through area quests and whatnot. But housing is a good one, just to have somewhere to unload, and if you can afford some coffers and chests, then even better. And of course the banker and the merchant helps out as well. Another thing I did do, because again the housing is account wide, so all my characters can teleport to here, is I've popped down some crafting benches with the aim of having them attuned to common sets that the builds I tend to use require, just so I've got a handy place to come and do it. And obviously then you've got deconstructing and research as well to free up some inventory space. So that wraps it up for the video. Hopefully you found it useful. The main thing is just trying to be as efficient as you can while you're managing, because there's nothing worse than you doing like a set of dungeons for the Undaunted or going on trials and you just get over encumbered with loot. Like, you technically can't get over encumbered, but you're missing out on good stuff because you've got no room. So I think for me the main things are pack upgrades, bank upgrades, having your merchant and banker summonable regardless of where you are. That's handy as well because not everybody has one. So if you're in a group, they have access to it. If you summon it, they can all use it as well, so it helps them out too. So it's a really good way of kind of making life easier for the whole party, especially if you're doing a dungeon or a trial. And of course, just trying to remember to log in daily to get your mount upgrades as well. But just making sure you cash in on the daily rewards that you get, because you do get a lot of good stuff. Like if you're starting out, there's potions and that'll help you, but the golds, the alliance points and all the other stuff, it might not look much, but if you log in and get everything every single day, it adds up, and it just adds to the experience of you being a bit better equipped to take the game on. But yeah, hopefully you find this useful, and drop a comment down below and let me know what you think.